Hi, this is Alexia Tsotsis from TechCrunch. If you don't know who I am by now, I guess you're probably new to TechCrunch. And I am here with Dave Morin, and if you don't know who he is, you're probably even newer to TechCrunch. But his co-founder, Dustin Moreau, who sometimes is not the face of Path, just won an award, and he won Best Product
Design and Marketing. So very proud of him. Excited for him because you're right. He isn't always the public face, but his design instincts and the way he sort of thinks differently about design is a lot of the reason for what Path is today.
So can you talk a little bit about his background and how he ended up at Path?
Sure. We met each other through mutual friends. Our third co-founder, Sean Fanning, actually introduced us, and Dustin came to Silicon Valley through the Napster connection, actually. He was originally developed the original version of Maxter, so the Mac version of Napster, along with his good friend Aaron Sittig, who actually is the head of design at Facebook now. So a lot of mutual friends, and we just decided we enjoyed talking and thought we might want to work together. So that's how we ended up co-founding Path together.
And so he's responsible for the little fan out.
Yeah, a lot of that kind of stuff. All of the little details. Dustin really, he's sort of a master craftsman in design and details, and really sort of design-driven thinking and software development. He writes software, but he's also a designer. He's very, very talented. So we're lucky to have him as a co-founder.
So how is the focus on detail and design handling scale? Like are you at 2 million yet?
Yeah, 2 million, yep.
Okay. Is that news?
I don't think so.
Has it been
it
reported?
May be, yeah, I think it has been. If not, we're at 2 million now.
Okay.
Yeah.
2 million
so
downloads.
2 million users, yeah. So more downloads than that, but 2 million users.
Active
so,
users.
Yeah.
What are you defining as an active user?
So we're actually 2 million users and about 1.2 million MAU, so about half of our users come back every month. So we're excited about that.
Yeah, I opened Path this morning and it was not working, and I was like, this is the first time.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's what you want. Yeah. I mean, I opened Twitter this morning and it wasn't working.
Yeah.
So they're doing something
we've been
right.
having some scale over the last 3 days or so. That's sort of unprecedented. So we're dealing with that and doing the best we can.
Well, you guys have come off a kind of rough week. Like I personally feel like you were made into a scapegoat for something that was really like a widespread problem across all mobile apps. And you've had to go through the whole press cycle, which is really stressful when it happens to your company, as I should know. And then have it end up being Apple's fault and having Apple admit to it. Can you talk a little bit about what that felt like and give some advice to people, to founders who find themselves in a similar situation?
In building social software, you spend a lot of time building things that have to do with people's privacy, with new ways of interacting socially online, and new models, right? If you're going to innovate in social, you're generally building something that's new, right? And sometimes you make assumptions for the sake of simplicity, in our case, or you make an assumption based on the way you've seen things done in the past, and consumers or users may not think that that's the right way to do things. And so in the case of what just happened with the address book stuff, for us, it was clear immediately as soon as people began talking about this that it was sort of not kosher with users the way that it had been designed. And so I guess to answer your question, the right thing to do in that situation is to listen to users and to generally apologize and try to figure out what it is that's the right thing to do, and then do that, right? Rather than perhaps get into an argument over it or whatever. Like users are always right. At the end of the day, that's our customer. So.
In that kind of situation, can you talk to people at Apple and say, hey, our users are saying this. It's a widespread industry problem. This is the fix that we think that you can provide all users, and these are the kind of protections that you can provide customers. Is that an easy process to go through?
I mean, Apple is incredibly gracious, and they've been really good, in working with us. They helped us get a new version out with the correct fix, and they really worked closely with us on that. And beyond that, I mean, they've been really just, I would just call it gracious in terms of like sort of making sure that both, I think us and the rest of the industry got through this in the right way.
So what's next for you guys now that you've weathered this particular storm? Every time I see you, you've like gone through something but come out stronger. So what are we going to see next from Path?
So we're working right now in partnership with Nike to release. They actually just announced today in New York City. I think a couple of new versions of their Nike Plus app. They're also releasing the Fuel Band, which is a new gadget which helps people track their daily activity. And that's going to be, we're fully integrated with that, and we're rolling out in tandem with them. So we've been working hand in hand with Nike on that for the last couple of months. And so as the Fuel Band sort of rolls out worldwide, which I think it starts on the 22nd, you'll start to see that being available, and then it'll come into the next version of Path as well. So we're really excited to help people share their workouts and share information about their health and sort of how they're working out. And we think that that'll help motivate people, especially since we're so focused on close friends and family.
What were you and Mark Pincus talking about earlier today?
Mark and I, Mark's been a great mentor to me, and he's, we were having coffee and, talking shop. I actually, back in the early days of Facebook platform, we used to meet a lot. So he's been a great mentor to me as we've been building Path. So we try to connect, for coffee every once in a while, but he's a good guy.
Good, great.
Yep, thanks.
Thank you, Dave.
Mm-hmm.